Good morning, everybody. We're going to make sure we're live. If anybody is in here, give me a 2x4 and let me know that you can hear me. I know it is the 4th of July, so some people might be sleeping in this morning. So if you're in here, let me know if you can hear me. Give me a 2x4 in the chat and tell me what y'all are up to this morning. We're going to get started. Yes, it is the 4th of July. So let me know if you can hear me. I'm going to sit here for just a minute. It shows 2 people are in here. If y'all can hear me, let me know. Good morning, Miss Sharon. How are you this morning? It's coffee. Yes, I have not had coffee yet this morning. I've got a pounding headache. I don't know what it is, but I'm drinking Body Armor this morning. I'll probably make some coffee here in just a little bit. Honestly, today's going to be a lazy day. I'm taking the day off and going to hang out with the family. My wife has got a Boston butt that we're going to cook and do some shredded barbecue and stuff like that. So I'm excited about that. We're probably going to go swimming today down at my parents' house. I think my mom, excuse me. I stayed up super late last night. Good morning, Forrest. But yeah, I think my mom's going to come up. We're going to eat some barbecue sliders and stuff like that, potato salad, all that fun stuff. Probably not going to shoot off fireworks. I could care less about shooting off fireworks, honestly. There'll be enough people. There'll be enough people shooting fireworks off. We can sit on the front porch and watch it across fields. Yeah, Miss Sharon, coffee plus dark chocolate equals no headache for me. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I'll get some headaches, but I woke up this morning with just a pounding headache. I popped some Excedrin, so hopefully that will help here in a little while. Good morning, Hatfield Homestead and Newman. Yes, happy Independence Day. Happy Independence Day to you too. Today is the 4th of July. Like I said, I'm just going to hang out with the family. My youngest one, he was like, what do you want to do? I was like, I don't really know. I was like, but we're not going to do any work today. We're just going to hang out and have a good day. So, oh, shoot. All right. Yes, and I'm not. I have started. My wife has been all over me. She wants the house repainted, the inside. Good morning, Rosie. But she wants the inside of the house painted. And literally, we had been picking paint colors, and all through the house, it looks like patchwork quilt. Because I would get some samples of stuff. I had some stuff left over from some other stuff that might work. So I was painting little swatches. And so finally, I got one of the girls from Sherwin-Williams to come by. We picked out the paint colors, finally decided on it. So I had some free time this week. The trim needed to be repainted. I really didn't want to paint the trim, but I sucked it up and did it. So I got all the trim repainted through. We're painting 2/3 of the house. So I had all the trim. I finally got all the trim painted on it. Next week, I'm going to start on the walls. So that's going to be fun. But the walls aren't near as bad. I mean, you can paint your walls and your ceiling a heck of a lot faster. So after CNC, I have a lot of equipment cleaning to do. After that, just relaxing. Forrest, what's CNC? So, yeah, Newman is not a day off for my team, doing things to keep our folks safe. Newman, I appreciate what you are doing very much, and I hope you have an easy day and nothing too hard. And I know it's stinking hot for you, I guarantee it. What's the temperature going to be out there where you're at today, Newman? We'll check the temperature here. I hadn't even looked at the weather, honestly. All right, today we're going to be 90, so not too bad. So, but guys, remember the festival is air conditioned, so we don't have to worry about the heat. So, yes, the festival will be air conditioned. The only thing outside is going to be will be the food trucks. Then when we do the cast iron cooking and care, and then also the biochar, that's the only things that are going to be outside. They'll be outside. We might, and I've got to call the guy back this weekend. We might have a guy coming in to do he's going to bring his portable sawmill. So he might, excuse me, he might bring his portable sawmill and cut some logs and do some sawmill demos. I'm still working on that to see. Oh, Forrest, that's stupid of me. Yeah, Clickbait and Coffee. Sorry. But, and then Newman, it's 113 degrees there. You're a better person than me. I think I would just melt at 113 degrees. So, but yeah, so we might have the guy out there doing a sawmill demo. Yes, Miss Sharon, thank you. She put it in the chat. There's where to get your tickets. And also, honestly, if you don't have tickets yet for this, we're running the special right now, the 4th of July special. It's only going to be until the 7th, which that is, I think is Monday. Yes, it's going to run until Monday. So you've got until Monday to get 25% off your tickets. The coupon code is July 4th, all capitals spelled out. So it's all capital letters spelled out, July 4th. That'll get you 25% off your tickets. So the tickets are on sale. This is going to be the last sale that we do before the festival. So if you don't get them at 25% off after Monday, you're going to pay full price, $35. But honestly, $35 is still a steal for what you're getting. Also, don't forget, if you've already got your tickets, check out the website. We've got all our first aid and medical kits are there in stock. And then also we've got Pure Bag water filters. We just started picking those up to carry. We've got Comfrey Root and Comfrey Crowns there on the website. They're shipped out. They're sitting in there ready to ship out. They're in stock. If I run out, I can go dig more Comfrey, which I probably need to go cut a bunch more Comfrey because the stuff I've got, the stuff I cut when Shelly was over here the other day, when I cut it, it's all dry and ready. Probably what I'm going to do with that Comfrey, like I said, is just make big handles of it and tie it up and put it up in the barn loft where I keep hay and just save it for the winter. So I might, after this, run out there and do that. So, yeah, Miss Sharon put the code in chat. I appreciate that, Miss Sharon. Guys, okay, charity auction. I don't know if y'all had heard this or not on one of the other lives, but we've got the charity auction. Everything's pretty well set. We've got most everything we need. And I want to tell you, the guys came through in a huge way. People donating stuff for that. Shelly and I were making the list for the auctioneer, and we were just doing rough numbers on it. We've got over $26,000 of stuff donated for the Caleb House auction, which I had done some rough numbers in my head. I was like, man, I said, well, I know we've got like over 15,000 for sure. But Shelly was putting it on a spreadsheet like she puts everything. She added it up. There's over $26,000 of stuff for that charity auction that we're doing for Caleb House. And I'm like, man, if we can do $26,000, I will be freaking floored. So, all right, Forrest, do you know what type of food is going to be cooked in the cast iron class? Forrest, I do not. I'll have to talk to Greg. I might text Greg here in a little bit. And if Greg's in here, Greg Skeens is going to be doing the cast iron class. Greg, if you're in here, tell Forrest what you're going to be cooking. Heck, Greg might not even have decided that yet, so who knows. But as soon as I know something, Forrest, I will let you know. So, yeah, Forrest, I don't really know. If Greg's in here, he can shoot it out. And as soon as I know, I will let you know that for sure. But don't forget my bread pudding. I'm excited about that. So, guys, hit the thumbs up button. It helps the algorithm and that kind of stuff. Yeah, Greg's here. Greg, Forrest wants to know what you're going to be cooking, what type of food you're going to be cooking in the cast iron class. So tell Forrest in the chat what you're going to be cooking. Also, today we're going to talk about a topic, bugging in versus bugging out. So if you've got questions on bugging in versus bugging out, any kind of questions about that, go ahead and post those in the chat. We'll get to the main topic here in just a few minutes. But yeah, like I said, charity auction, there's over $26,000 of stuff that we've got to auction off, which I'm thankful for that. God has blessed that auction more than I'll ever understand. He just blew the doors wide open on that. I appreciate it so much. I appreciate everybody that's donated stuff. Those people are amazing. So now what we have to do is get some amazing people in there to bid on this stuff to where we can raise as much money as we can Saturday night for Caleb House. So, all right. Got that. Also, Combat Midwife. If you have never heard of Combat Midwife, her website is, let me see, is combatmidwife.com. We've got her coming in October 25th to Bowling Green. She's going to be at the same place. She's going to be at the same place where we hold the festival. She's going to be doing, it's the Combat Midwife Workshop. It covers, let me see. All right. What it covers is segment 1 is Lady Curiosities. All kinds of stuff like that. The second segment in there is Field Birth 101, Uncomplicated Deliveries. Segment 3 of the class is When the Shit Hits the Fan, Birth Emergencies. And there's a bunch of additional information that's going to be covered. It's going to be a stinking awesome class. I am excited that we're going to be hosting her. In Bowling Green for that class. The class will probably sell out pretty quick. So if you're interested in coming to that class, let me know, or you can sign up on her website at combatmidwife.com. She's also going to be at the festival. She's going to speak for just a little bit, so she'll be there and be able to, you can talk to her more about the class. But that is October 25th is when that class is going to be here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Greg said, bacon, sausage, cornbread, cake, and biscuits. That sounds amazing. He hit all the highlights and stuff that I want. So Forrest, that's what he's going to be cooking. Also, it is Kitchen Queen wood stoves. They're going to be there. They're going to have one of their wood stoves, demoing it, one of their wood cook stoves. And the owner said his wife is probably going to do some cookies. So there might be some cookies in the cookie trap there. So there might be some cookies that everybody can eat. I don't know how many she's going to cook, but if you're down there, you can probably grab a cookie. He sold me. He was like, my wife will make cookies. I'm like, I'm sold. Let's do it. And Forrest, I enjoyed last night's show. It was very good. Thank you, Forrest. I tell you, and I want to get on Mike. If y'all have not been watching the lives, y'all need to go back and watch the lives that Shelly and I have been doing. Some of those have been phenomenal lives with people. I am just super amazed. And we've got more coming up. Let me look at my list. All right. We did Mike Adkins last night. I'll tell you what, the 7th, Monday is Dr. Trevor, the Angry Viking Therapist. The 10th, July 10th, is Greg New. Greg New is actually a Green Beret. Mike told us that last night. I knew he was in the military, but I didn't know he's a Green Beret. So Greg New is going to be with us the 10th, talking about bees. And then July 14th, Suzanne Shires is going to be here. Suzanne is doing a fermentation workshop, and she's also doing a talk on how to find salt in the wild. So super interested about that. I'm excited to talk to these people. But guys, go back and check those lives. Those lives have been some awesome stuff. And Forrest, I enjoyed last night's live with Mike. He's a super cool dude. And if you didn't catch the live last night, yesterday morning, I sent Mike the invite for StreamYard, and I was like, hey, here's the invite. like 30 minutes later, he sent me a text. He's like, hey, I was supposed to be on a podcast this morning. We had some trouble with the audio. Can we do like a test run? I'm like, sure. So I sent him a test invite. He got on there. Audio's working great. Camera's good, all that stuff. And we just start talking. And I look up later and I'm like, dude, we've been on here an hour. I was like, it went by super fast. And man, me and this guy talked. We hit it off. He's a super cool dude. And I'm excited. I'm kind of jealous. Shelly's met him in person. And I've not met him in person yet, but he's only over in West Virginia. I think he said it's like 4 or 5 hours away. But I'm super excited to meet that guy at the festival and get to talk to him. But wealth of knowledge, this guy has been there, done that, got the T-shirt, and pretty stinking cool. We are probably going to talk him in to coming because he used to do land nav classes with his business he had. So we're looking for a spot. It's in the works. Shelly has got a spot that she's going to check on to see if we can do a land nav course. So Mike might be coming over maybe this winter, early spring, something like that, to do a land nav course for everybody. So we're going to work on the details of that and all the pricing, all that kind of stuff. So guys, go check out those lives and everything. And then Greg said that's going to be interesting. I've never cooked on a wood stove. So, well, Greg, you've got your thing where you can cook over coals, don't you? You're supposed to be building that. So we'll be cooking over a wood stove and also over some coals because Greg is making a thing for us to do that. And yes, Rosie will be there. She's going to have all kinds of treats and stuff like that. So, and Greg says yes. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to the cast iron cooking class. I mean, all the workshops and all the classes and stuff like that, it's going to be freaking fun as all get out. And I'm excited. And I was looking, I'm like, man, this thing is only, because today's the 4th, we're only looking 14 days away. Yeah, 14 days away. Yeah, Forrest, he's an all-around badass, I hear. That was funny. And hey, last night on the live, Shelly had to go. And she had told us, she was like, I've got to go because she had to meet Melanie last night. Melanie was coming down through from Indiana. So Shelly had to meet her. She's like, if y'all want to go longer, you can. I've just got to scoot out. And we're like, y'all saw the end of the live. Shelly's like, I got to go. Shelly accidentally hit, instead of leave studio, she hit in the live stream. And she was like, oh my gosh. She's like, I accidentally hit in the live stream. So it just cut the feed. So I apologize for that. She did that on accident because me and Mike were going to stay on for a little while longer, but she cut the feed and there's no way to restart the feed back up or anything. So I apologize for that. So guys, tell me what y'all are going to do this weekend on the 4th. If y'all got big plans, what your plans are, that kind of stuff. I would like to hear it. Like I said, we're going to hang out and not do much of nothing today and probably this weekend. I'll have to do some stuff with the animals here and there, but nothing super big. I want to take the weekend and relax. So, all right. Greg, you are camping. I saw the pictures. So, are you cooking breakfast right now? Well, you're an hour ahead, so you're after 9 o'clock. So yeah, you probably already had breakfast. And Miss Sharon just working in the garden for me. So I need to go down and do a few things in the food forest. I might go down there and spend an hour or so weeding some stuff and doing stuff like that. But there's always crap to do. It's just nonstop sometimes. So, all right. Bugging in versus bugging out is kind of the topic we're going to talk about today. Not yet. Just got up, Greg. We'll get on it. Cook some bacon and eggs. I think I'm going to have leftover pork chops. My wife cooked pork chops last night that were amazing, and I'm probably going to heat one of those jokers up and eat it, and maybe stick it on a biscuit and do that, maybe with some eggs. So Newman is doing all the things to keep our folks our folks safe all weekend. I appreciate what you were doing, Newman, for sure. All right. Bugging in versus bugging out. There's staunch camps on it. Some people are like, I'm never bugging out, and some people are like, I'm bugging out as soon as the first little thing happens. I'm out and I'm going somewhere. Honestly, you need a plan to do both. The metric system can't measure freedom. Yes, Forrest, it cannot. We use freedom units, and every time I say that, well, the guys at Pure Bag. They're both Australian. One of them still lives in Australia, and the other guy lives in Texas. And they were talking about centimeters and stuff like this and liters and everything. I was like, guys, we were having a meeting. I was like, guys, I don't understand centimeters and liters and all that. I'm like, you're going to have to use freedom units and do that. And they started laughing. They're like, sorry, we'll do better. And I was like, it's fine. But all right, bugging in and bugging out. Honestly, you should have a plan to do both. I'm a staunch advocate of bugging, of staying where you're at and staying put. I've built my property and everything to stay here. Lord, I would hate to think me and my wife were talking one day. She was like, if we ever move, I'm not moving your shop. As far as the stuff you got in your shop, she was like, I've seen inside your shop, you've got so much crap in there. She was like, it would take semi-loads of stuff to move that. And I was like, yes, it would. So I've set all my stuff up to stay where I'm at. I've got plans if I need to go somewhere to go somewhere. So you need to have those plans in effect. But honestly, in my opinion, bugging in should be your first option because, I mean, and I've written a bunch of notes out. I'm probably just going to look at my notes here and there because I like to stay somewhat organized. If I don't write stuff down, I forget it, honestly. That, and we'll just be all over the place, rabbit hole here, rabbit hole there, forget what I'm talking about. But, all right, bugging in should be your first option, in my opinion. Some people are going to be first sign, I'm bugging out, I'm gone out of this place, especially if they're in an apartment or something like that. But if you're planning on staying at your place and bugging in, staying there, have enough food, water, have enough food at your place, have enough water at your place, have security at your place, have the shelter at your place. Essentially, really bugging in. If it's a short-term threat like a snowstorm, an ice storm, a power outage, small civil unrest, you should probably stay. And then you've got to look at are the roads unsafe or blocked? If you've got a non-permissive environment where travel is shut off, you probably shouldn't bug out because it's going to be hard if you can't use the roads. And then if you've got trusted people, trusted friends and family real close to you, staying where you're at is going to be your best bet, especially if you've got a friend that's in your neighborhood or right next to your farm. You should probably stay put because then you can work together and be assets to each other. So advantages of staying where you're at, you've got no travel risk. You're staying where you're at. You don't have to travel anywhere, worry about, and it's not worrying about the marauders that are going to get you, while you're traveling. It's little simple, stupid stuff. Are you going to have a wreck? You're going to have a fender bender that disables your car. So then your car's disabled, all your stuff's in your car, and you're like, crap, I should have just stayed at home because now your car's busted up, and then you're going to the lowest common denominator. You're going to be on foot. And then you had a car full of supplies. Now you're on foot and you're like, I can only take so much. So then you're kind of screwed. Another advantage, familiar area. You're staying in the place that so you don't have to learn a new area of where you're going. Then it's going to be easier to defend if you're in a familiar area. And plus you have time. Right now you can start hardening your place up, getting it defensible. And honestly, one of the big things, it's more comfortable. if you think about it, your house is going to be way more comfortable if if you stay at your house. It's going to be more comfortable than going to somebody else's house or going to this bug out location that you're not used to. Especially if you've got kids, the kids are going to be like, "Hey, we're familiar with this. This is where we live. We don't have to worry about anything." So let me see. Forrest, the decision hinges on circumstances, resources, and the nature of the crisis. Have plans both tailored for your environment and capacities. Yes, exactly. So, as far as, all right, we'll switch over. Bugging out. Bugging out is the last resort for me. I don't plan on bugging out unless I absolutely have to. And some of the stuff that would make me bug out is some of your imminent threats. If you've got, we don't have wildfires here, really. We'll have some brush fires here and there. The farmers' wheat fields. Well, every now and then you'll have a wheat field or a corn field go up in flames. But typically fires are not a huge thing around here. But some of the imminent threats that you could look at is fires, floods, chemical spill, stuff like that. Floods, even in all the rain we've had this spring and the massive flooding we've had around here. The pond, we've got an old pond on the front corner of the property. It filled up and was probably about 8 to 9 feet deep, but it was nowhere near the house. It would have had to come up. Honestly, it probably would have had to come up at least another 15 feet to even be close to the front, to where it was going to touch the front porch of the house. So, I mean, it would have had to have been a massive, a massive rain event. If it would have been that big a rain event, people would have been looking and being like, "Hey, where's Noah 2.0 on building this ark?" It would have been that bad. But one of the things, like a chemical spill, I'm relatively close to a railroad track. They do haul chemicals up and down a railroad track with all kinds of other stuff. If you have a chemical spill, I mean, chlorine gas or something like that, a poisonous gas that spills out. Yes, I'm going to grab the bug out bags and we're going to scoot out until that area is clear. But I'm planning on coming back. I'm not leaving forever. And that's a relatively small little area that it's going to mess up. They could come in and get that spill cleaned up in a matter of days, probably, as long as it's not like up there in Ohio where they're still dealing with all that stuff and it's just really been swept under the rug. But if it's a small little thing, a small little chemical spill, it's probably going to be cleaned up pretty soon. You're not going to have to worry too much about it. Also, if your area's been compromised, if the zombie hordes are all over your area, you probably need to go. Another thing, running out of supplies. If you've only stocked, 6 months of supplies and you're running on 5.5 months or 5 3/4 months, you need to start figuring out where you're going. But that goes back to setting your place up to where you can be sustainable and you can regenerate your food, not just stocking up on stuff, because it's Pastor Joe at Viking Preparedness. He said that once you crack that first can of your emergency food, you've started the stopwatch on how long you've got to live. So if you've got a year's supply of food and you crack that first bucket open, you started the stopwatch. What are you going to do on day 366? So have a resupply. That's where having a homestead and having food production comes in. Because if you've got food production and you're doing it right, you should never run out of supplies as far as food wise. Yes, things might get tight, but you still got a stream of food coming in, whether that's your fruit and vegetables or whether that's your animals that you're raising to provide for your family. And Miss Sharon, I plan to stay here until I see flames. Exactly. That I'll be looking and watching for it, but I'm going to be packed up and ready to go. So as soon as I see those flames, I'm packed and ready to go if I have to. Another reason to go bugging out, martial law has been declared for your area, or there's large civil unrest. But honestly, if you're in an area that they've caught, that they've, instated martial law, or there's civil unrest big enough for you to leave, you've probably already missed the boat on that. That's where you should be looking ahead and saying, hey, here's my trigger point. I need to leave. So you're kind of behind the 8 ball then. You're trying to drive. I mean, look at the LA riots they had when, I forgot what year it is, the Rodney King and all that stuff. If you were trying to get out of LA when the LA riots were going on, you've waited too stinking long. So now you're going to have to drive through all that crap. You should have left several days ahead of time. Honestly, if you're in something like that, you should do like the Korean guys did and set up on the rooftop of your business with a gun, and somebody comes and tries to mess with you, you're just going to pop somebody off, and that's going to stop a lot of that crap. So some of the cons of bugging out, you've got the travel risk. I've already kind of touched on that. You've got travel risk, and that can be travel risk from just having an accident, breaking down, something like that, all the way up to, if there's checkpoints and stuff like that. And then you get into the Mad Max, the hordes of people, stopping you and trying to steal all your stuff. It all just kind of depends on what travel risk you're talking about. Also, exposure to the elements. What's the weather look like? Is it going to be 90 degrees and sunny and then your car breaks down? That kind of thing. Then you're going to have to pack all your stuff. Did you bring enough water if you're going to have to be on foot? Is it going to be 10 degrees outside and you're walking through 6 inches of snow? Something like that. Also, one of the cons about bugging out is you can't take everything with you unless you own. The only way I could take everything with me in my house is if I had probably 3 semis and I was driving a semi, my wife was driving a semi, and my 9-year-old was driving a semi. And I would not want to see my 9-year-old behind the wheel of a semi. I've seen him drive a tractor and it's kind of scary, but honestly, he does good with that. But yeah, so I mean, you can't take everything with you. We would probably need 3 tractor trailer loads full of stuff to do that. So that's the cons on that. Let me see. PAEMT FF9. I take it you are an EMT in Pennsylvania. If I am right, tell me. Yeah, chemical event. Think of the train crashes with chemical releases. Yeah, and I said that. I mean, we're setting a decent way off the train tracks, one of the major north-south train tracks, CSX. Yeah, that's one of the things. If we had an incident with that, a train derailment, and there was something horrible on there, some kind of chemical that's going to hurt something, man, we're going to be out of here until that area is safe. And I was saying, like up in Ohio, I don't know the last thing that's going on up there, but I know that was a pretty nasty one. Hopefully we won't have anything like that, out in front of the house. But there are chemicals that they carry all the time. So yeah, the chemical event, think about that. Also, you can look at a chemical event if you're on a major highway. Semis are running chemicals too. I mean, heck, if you think, they close down the road when a diesel tanker or something like that has a wreck and they've spilled out, 4,000 or 5,000 gallons of diesel fuel or 4,000 or 5,000 gallons of gasoline. They'll shut the highway down. That's a major kind of catastrophe. And then, heck, I've seen some of the coal when they're hauling coal on the trains. Sometimes those things have caught fire, and I mean that's a big ordeal to put one of those jokers out. But yeah, the chemicals would be the big thing, and then there's semis that are carrying chemicals all the time, back and forth on major highways. So that's something else you can look at. It's not going to be near as bad as a train event because your semi is just going to be one tanker to where a train's going to be massive amounts of tankers. All right. One thing to remember, if you don't have somewhere to go when you bug out, you're a refugee. So if you're going to come from if you're going to leave point A, your house where you live, and you're like, I'm going somewhere, you got to have somewhere to go because you're just going to be a refugee if you have nowhere to go. So Let me see, Miss Sharon. I'm more concerned with sitting here under a nuclear reactor. Miss Sharon, is there a nuclear reactor around where you're at? You're in South Carolina, aren't you? So, yes, I would be concerned about a nuclear reactor for sure if I was living close to one of those. I think the closest one to us is down in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. That's the only one that I can think of. Excuse me. And Miss Sharon says, yes, Duke Energy. Yeah. Yeah, I would be a little concerned on that if I was close to a nuclear reactor. So, all right. Some of the stuff you need to consider on, how to decide if you need to stay or if you should go. Are you currently safe? If you're currently safe in your place, everything looks, like you can defend your place. It's not getting overly stupid. Everything's fine. Nobody's coming up beating on your door, trying to get in your house, trying to get on your property. You're pretty good if you're that way. Do you have enough resources? We've touched on resources before. Do you have enough resources? Do you have a resupply plan with your garden, with your animals? Can you stay another 30 days, another 60 days? And you got to look, is it going to be more dangerous to stay where I'm at, or is it going to be more dangerous to get out on the roads and travel to wherever you're going to go, to travel to your bug out location? What's the weather look like? Is it going to be nice 70 degrees and sunny and everything? You're going to have a great little wonderful stroll through the countryside to go to your bug out location? Or is it a 100-degree heat wave and just super miserable? Or is it 10 degrees outside with a foot of snow on the ground? So look about that. And then the big kicker, do you have somewhere to go? Like I said a minute ago, you've got to have somewhere to go. So don't be the person that's like, yeah, we're bugging out. We're bugging out to a national park. So that's probably not going to work. We're going to bug out. It's the little meme. It's got the guy running. It says, I'm going to grab my SKS and run into the woods. That's cool for about a week. And then after a week, you're probably going to die. So yes, exactly. PAMEMT. Definitely a new meaning to having a glowing personality. And then Forest, I work 42 miles from my house. I always have what I need in my truck to make it home. Exactly. I mean, I keep a bag regardless. I usually keep anyway for work because I never know. Sometimes I've gotten nasty at work and I need to change my pants, need to change my shirt. I always keep an extra pair of clothes in the truck. I keep socks, underwear, pants, and a shirt, and an extra long sleeve shirt, depending, whether it's summer or not. There's a long sleeve shirt in my truck because I've had it before where you got to crawl underneath somebody's house in a crawl space or something, and then you're just like, man, I'm nasty. I'm going to change my pants, change my shirt. So I always keep a extra change of clothes in my shirt. L2 Survive. Happy 4th to you too. Glad to see you in here. I appreciate it. So you always keep, I got to write a note. All right. I always keep an extra pair of clothes. I've done that for years. And then also I've got a bag that usually stays in the truck, a small little bag that'll get me through, a day or two. I'm typically not more than about 15 miles from my house, typically on a given day. The job I'm working on right now is literally as the crow flies. It was, I think it's 3 miles as a crow flies. If I have to walk it, it's a little bit more than that just because I have to come down in an L shape if I walk the roads, but I know how to get straight back and forth to there. All right. Frank Short. Sorry I'm late. Just taking a break from what I was doing. Well, hey, it's better late than never. Glad to have you here. Frank, what are you working on today? Tell me what you're working on. L2 Survive. Keep a folding scooter in your vehicle Faster to scooter than walk, and they don't take up that much space. Yeah, exactly. A little folding scooter would be cool to have. The only thing, my kids have had those folding scooters, and they had the ones with the little bitty like rollerblade wheels. And man, I have ridden those things, and it's like you hit one little rock and you're just toast. And it just, if I got one of those, I would want pneumatic wheel or pneumatic tires on it so that you can air up. So the ones that you air up are pretty cool. You can hit a rock on it and not go face first. But I tell you what, those stinking scooters are fast for sure. So, guys, leave some comments. What else do y'all carry in your trucks to get you home? Forrest said he's 42 miles away, and he keeps in his truck what he needs to get home. So, what do y'all keep in your vehicles? Typically, like I was saying, I'm usually about 15 miles or so somewhere from around the house. So I keep the one bag that'll get me home. If I know I'm going to be gone, an hour away, something like that, I've got another bag that I throw in my truck that'll keep me for about 3 days as far as food and water, stuff like that I throw that joker in there. I always keep a long gun and a bunch of magazines in the truck. Keep that in there with a sling. I can throw the sling on, throw the mags in and go, and keep it. There's water filters in there, a couple different types of water filters. So you've got that, and all different types of stuff. I've got, of course, my toolbox is full of all kinds of tools. So, I've got tons of tools in there. If I'm on foot, I'm not going to take those. Of course, I'm not going to be carrying my Milwaukee drill with me, but I will probably take a hatchet. I keep a hatchet in there. I use a hatchet for all kinds of different things, a bunch. So, all right. Frank Short. Redesigning my power setup for my overland pickup truck, putting a new 600 amp lithium battery and replacing the 200 amp. Hey, that's pretty cool. Frank, is that a one 600 amp battery? Because that's going to be a monster battery in there. And tell me, is that just one battery, and who'd you get that from? We just got talking about batteries. Power Queen is one of the sponsors for the festival, and they have sent, it's over $1,500 worth of stuff. They sent 4 lithium batteries, 100 amp hour batteries. They sent a solar charge control, and they sent an inverter for us. Man, that stuff, Power Queen has really stepped up, and they're like, yes, we'll send you this stuff. It's about $1,500 of stuff. And the batteries came in on Wednesday afternoon when I was doing the live on Wednesday, but they came in. My wife sent me a picture. She was like, you've got some heavy boxes out here. So I went and looked. I was like, oh, cool. Those are the batteries. So we got those that are going to be in the raffle that we're going to be giving away. So you've got a chance to win $1,500 of stuff from Power Queen. Honestly, I'm a little jealous. I'm like, I would like to have those batteries and set. That would be nice for having in my basement for the battery bank. So you can win that. Get to the festival. Frank, where are you located at? Do you have tickets for the festival? Are you coming? And then also PA EMT. Have you gotten your tickets for the festival? I want to know. You need to be there. And then PA, here. Frank says it's one battery. That's probably a pretty stinking big battery if it's a 600 amp hour lithium. All right. PA EMT. I'm on the road approximately 120,000 miles a year. Hence, an added difficulty if shit hit the fan, transpires. I'm a long distance transport. Yeah. That could be the thing. That, and along with like truckers and stuff like that. One of my buddies is a truck driver, and he's got bug out stuff in there to sustain him, and he's running all over the place. So I kind of feel bad for guys that are, truck drivers and long distance, and they're gone all the time. You've really got to do a whole lot of planning on that kind of stuff. And then Frank. Yeah, it's one battery. It's Dumfoon battery. It seems to have good reviews. That's pretty cool. I've never heard of those. I want to write that down and check that out. All right. All right. Let's see. Forrest. Nowadays, people wear Crocs, flip-flops, and everything in between. Keep a pair of sneakers for walking. What if you were coming from work or church and everybody's wearing dress shoes? Yeah, exactly. I mean, now, I will be honest with you. My dress shoes that I wear to church are a pair of slip-on. I don't know. I got them on right now. All right, they're a pair of slip-on Skechers. I usually wear these. Around the house. I wear them to church and everything. There's a nice leather slip-on. So I wear those. But yeah, people are wearing Crocs and flip-flops most of the time. I have. If I'm going, work every day, I wear a pair of lace-up Merrells. Sometimes I'll wear the low-top Merrells, and then sometimes I'll wear the high-top, like an 8-inch boot. But typically, 9 times out of 10, if I am away from the house, I've got on a pair of lace-up shoes. But now, if I'm just running a mile and a half down to the IGA, yes, I will throw a pair of flip-flops on or wear my slip-on shoes. But I can make a mile and a half in a pair of flip-flops, no problem. But yeah, keep an extra pair of shoes, an extra pair of comfortable shoes that you broke in already, not a brand new pair. And then, let me see, Frank. I live in Northwest Florida. I'm sorry I'm not going to be able to make it up. Hey, that's no problem. Hey, I'm glad to have you in here. So, but Frank, hopefully you can get everything fixed up today. That would be nice. Let me see. Let me catch up. I think I've got all the comments. Sometimes these things fly by and I miss them. But, all right. As far as your bug out, stuff like that, be ready to do both. Have a well-stocked homestead or house. Have a bag. Have a bug out location that's stocked also. If I'm going to bug out to a place, let's just say Shelly and I made a deal, and it's like, Shelly, if things get bad, I'm coming to your place. So Shelly is like, yes, that's fine. If she says that's fine, start stocking some stuff at your bug out location. If it's going to be a friend. So if Shelly and I make that deal, I would start stocking stuff and having supplies at her house, because what you've got to come down to, it's going to come back down to a man portable system. Yes, I can leave out of here with 2 or 3 pickup trucks loaded down with everything I've got. And if those trucks break down, you're going to go to a man portable system, your feet. So you're only going to take what you can carry. So it's great if you have all kinds of stuff already stocked at Shelly's house. Shelly could do the same thing. If she says, hey, if it gets bad here, I've got to come to your house, I'm going to start stocking supplies there. So then that way, if she shows up, her and Randy show up with just what they can carry on their back, they've still got supplies here. So plan your bug out locations and have them stocked already. I had a conversation with some guys. It's been 4 years ago or so. I was telling them, I'm like, hey, I'm going to finish out some of the shop. We're going to do this, keep it climate controlled. I'm going to build everything. I'd like a little bit of help, on building it. And they were like, yeah, that's cool. And I'm like, if any of y'all want to come here in a grid down, shit hit the fan scenario, you are welcome to come, but I want you to store some of your supplies here. And we went over the specifics on how many months of stuff they need. I'm like, you need X amount of months of everything you need. Everything from food, clothes, medicine, toiletries, all that kind of stuff. You need to have X amount here stored. And I'm like, keep some at your house to get you through a short-term deal. But in a long-term deal, I was like, you can't bring all your stuff. I'm like, what if you get stopped and you've got to walk? I'm like, then all your stuff's going to be at your house. I was like, keep your stuff here. So those guys really weren't very serious about it, come to find out. So it's just like, forget it. We never did do anything with those guys, but I had the space and was going to finish it out for these guys so they could keep, 3, 4, 5 months of everything they needed in the shop in a climate controlled space. So then if their need ever arose when they come here, they've already got their stuff stocked up. So then Miss Sharon, if no home to go to, get as close to a water source as possible and a means to purify it. Yes, exactly. Water purification, you're going to need that stuff. We've got on the website, this is the Pure Bag Micro. This is their little filter you can drink through. It will actually attach to a bottle, like a Coke bottle or a water bottle. You can screw that on and drink straight out of that. But yes, have a filter system. But we've got the Pure Bag brand filters on the website if you want to look and pick one of those up. And then let's see. L2 Survive. We keep our travel trailer 50 miles away, fully stocked. If we have to evacuate, we will have that second home ready to go. It has everything we need to last a month without leaving. See, that's awesome. And that's something, I mean, if you got your RV, keep it somewhere else, keep it stocked, ready to go to where you can just slide in there and that's your second spot. I mean, that's a freaking good idea. So going back to be ready for both, have bug out bags ready for everybody. Anybody that can carry a backpack, even, if your 4-year-old is going to be walking with you, have a bag for them. Don't load it down, don't load it down with everything in the kitchen sink on that. And that's the big thing. A lot of people will have these bug out bags and they're like, yeah, my bug out bag's like 80 pounds. And I'm like, dude, why do you need a freaking 80-pound bug out bag? The bug out bag is only to get you from point A to point B. Some people act like they're going to be setting up camp and building a damn log cabin every night. And they're like, well, I've got to have my big silky saw and I've got to have an axe, a long-handled axe and this. And it's like, what are you going to be like Abraham Lincoln every night and building a log cabin in the woods? It's like, if you're walking more than a couple days, it's like freaking set up a tent, set up a shelter, string some tarp over some trees, throw your mat down, take a nap, and then get up the next morning and go. We're not pioneers and, across the Oregon Trail. So it's, your bug out bag is to get you from point A to point B as fast as you can with the minimal stuff you need if you're going to be on foot. Now, if you're going to be in your vehicle, man, load that joker down. The hell with the mule, load the wagons and load that thing and go. And then that way you can take more stuff. But only get what you need to get to your location. And then Miss Sharon. We call the kids' bags a good bag. Get out of Dodge. Yeah. But they just know good bag. Exactly. So, I mean, have some stuff set up for everybody to go. I've got to rearrange some bags and stuff like that. I usually keep, my wife asked me the other day, she was like, because I've done deployments with Grindstone, so I usually keep a bag that's got quite a bit of stuff to where I can grab it and not have to repack every time if I'm going to go help them or run down and do some recon. I went and did some recon work for them when that Tennessee hit down in Selmer, Tennessee, and I didn't know how long I'd be gone, so I threw a whole rucksack full. Took all kinds of stuff with me. I was like, I might be down there for 3 days, might be down there for longer. I really don't know. So I've got a ruck that I can grab and everything's set and ready to go. And she's like, since you've got your new office downstairs, can you put all the stuff that's in our bedroom down there? And I'm like, yes, I will do that. So that might be one of the things I do this weekend is get down there, get up there and take all my backpacks and bring them. I've got to figure out a spot. I want to fix a spot to where I can hang all the bags and stuff like that. So I might mess with that this weekend and see what I can figure out. And going on with that, behind me, I want to put some shelves up. So I think I want to put some shelves up and do some stuff like that. But guys, if y'all got anything else, shoot any more comments. I appreciate y'all being here. That's all I've got on bug in versus bug out. Get your tickets to the festival. Use the code July 4th, spelled out, all caps, to get 25% off your tickets. To get your tickets. There's nothing else. I made a bunch of notes. I've got a bunch of stuff to do before the festival. Like I said, I was sitting there and I'm like, man, we're only like 14 days out. There's a bunch of stuff that needs to go. And L2 Survive. From time to time, the wife asks me if she can take some of this stuff out of her trunk. Yes, exactly. I tell you, I would like to put stuff. My wife has a 4Runner. I would like to put more stuff in the back of my wife's 4Runner, but she's got the basics. And I figured one of the biggest things she needs is a medical bag. So we've got her one of our vehicle med bags. I did some extra stuff in it. Did some extra stuff in her bag that we don't offer. We can put it in your vehicle med bag, but she's got a vehicle med bag in the back seat. It's got everything you need to treat anything from a gunshot wound to your kid scraping his knees and, needing a boo-boo on there. But she keeps that in there religiously. And I'm like, okay, that works. And then she's also got medical stuff in the center console. And honestly, I was surprised. I'm like, hey, we need to put this stuff in there. And she kind of rolled her eyes just a little bit, but she's kept it in there, and it stays in there. And we use that stuff all the time. It's pretty nice. But yeah, I'm not going to try to slip too much more in my wife's 4Runner, because then she might start getting mad at me. But I'll sneak stuff in there every now and then. So, but she honestly told me the other day, she was like, I think there's a website, 4Runner Life or something, 4runnerlife.com. She's like, they make these cool little, I don't know, cases and stuff that'll fit your 4Runner and you can put in there. And I'm like, ooh, if she is wanting to do that, we might get her. I mean, heck, I might grab her a new Condition 1 case or something like that. Grab one of those, put some stuff in there, and it might look pretty 4Runner-ish, kind of cool to do that. So we'll see. Let's see, Forrest. For some of us are starting to get old. Don't forget to keep extra meds for emergencies, and learn from Leslie at the festival. Yes, exactly. So, but guys, I appreciate it. I'm gonna think about what I'm going to do down here today. I can hear my youngest one is up and running around upstairs, so I'm going to check and see what he's doing, and then I'm going to eat some breakfast. Guys, I appreciate it. We will be back Monday night, 6:30 with who are we going to have? I forgot. We're going to be Dr. Trevor, the Angry Viking Therapist. We're going to be on with him 6:30 Monday. Guys, I appreciate it. Y'all have a good weekend, and I will see y'all Monday. Be careful lighting fireworks off. Don't blow your hand off. If you need any first aid and medical stuff, get it before you blow your hand off if you're going to. Check out the website. Guys, I appreciate it. Miss Sharon, I appreciate you being our moderator. You're amazing. And I will see y'all on Monday. Have a good weekend.